Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to start with the chapter Heredity. Actually 30% of the syllabus is reduced and we are nearing to the completion of the syllabus. So in this chapter, that is Heredity and Evolution, the evolution part is omitted. So we will focus only on the heredity part, okay, of this chapter. So what do you mean by heredity? You have to know that at first. Heredity means transmission of the characteristic features from the parents to the child. And biologically we can say that a child is an offspring. Okay. So we will talk about offspring now in this chapter. We will not talk about, we will not tell the word child. We will talk about offspring. Okay. So offspring means when the parents unite, then fertilization takes place. Then what is produced? The zygote. Zygote develops into a child, that is called what? The offspring. So the characteristic features from the parents are transmitted to the child. That process is called what? The transmission of character is called what? Heredity. And we can see that whenever a child is born, we get some characteristic features which is common to the parents, and some are quite new characteristic feature which has come to the child. So this fertilization during the sexual reproduction, that leads to what? Variation. Because we get various types of characteristics. Similar characteristics also we will get. And we will get dissimilar characteristics also. Identical characteristic features from the parents also come. And the child will get its characteristics which is of his own, which has developed by the union between the father and the mother. So this leads to what? Variation. So always during the sexual reproduction we get what? Variation. And for asexual reproduction sometimes we get some form of variations. So if you can look into this part of the writing part that I have written, see, the first generation, the parents will produce the second one. Okay, the new ones will come, and which have the differences of characteristic feature from the parents. Okay, so this is a very important part, that variations are there after the process of sexual reproduction is performed. Then whatever we get, the offspring, is the union between the male and female characteristic features, but exceptional characteristics also come because of this union. This is called what? Variation. Now during the process of evolution, that is, what is evolution? Just I will tell a little bit about evolution. That is when the ancient men were there and now we have developed the modern man. So we are the modern man, and previously there was what? There were actually ancient men. So ancient man has come to modern man after a lot of struggle, after a lot of development, after a lot of inventions, and after a lot of adjustments. This way, when the animals have evolved from the ancient form to the new form, is called what? Evolution. What we are today is a result of evolution. So during the evolution process, what happens? The best characteristic features are selected. The one who can survive, the one who can struggle, the one who struggles, the one who is fit will be selected by the nature. This is the basis of evolution. Right. So whoever are existing now, human being or the modern tiger, were something else millions of years ago. But now we are here. Now the modern man is here, the modern tiger, modern elephant. You can see the latest one. Okay, but previously, before millions of years ago, the elephant was a mammoth. So, but the characteristic features are selected which are specialized and which are selected, and now the elephant from the mammoth have evolved to the modern elephant, like today's elephant. So this is the basis of evolution. Selection of variants, the survival of the fittest, these are the basis of evolution for which we are today. Okay, so these characteristic features are inherited from the parents. What we get is from the parents. what we do to adjust ourselves with the surrounding, that leads to a stable life, that leads to what? A proper evolution. Okay, so whatever characteristic we get from parents are the inherited traits. Okay, so these characteristics that we get from parents are called what? Inherited traits. Whatever, suppose the skin color of a child or an offspring is dark, so maybe the mother or the father from the parent side, maybe any one of them is a little dark, so the darkness of the skin has evolved from the parents. So these are the inherited traits that the child has got, like straight hairs or curly hairs, whatever the child has got, that will be what? That will be the inherited trait from the parents. Maybe from one of the parents the child has got these characters and evolved a lot from itself only, because their sexual reproduction leads to what? Variation. Some extra characteristic features will always be there by the combination of the characteristics from the parents, both the parents, mother and the father. And this transmission of character is called what? Heredity. Now we will talk about some of the rules of inheritance for the traits, for the characteristics. Okay, so what are the rules? First of all, as we can see here as a gist, like the father and the mother will unite, the parents will unite during sexual reproduction process that we have already discussed in the previous chapter. So mother and father will unite and they will give some of the genetic material from each side. Some genetic material will come from the father, some will come from the mother. Then there is a mixture of genetic material and that comes to the child. So father and mother are contributing what? Contributing their genetic material to give birth to a child. So the child is formed by the combination of what? By the genetic material of from a little from the father, a little from the mother, and are combining together to form what? A child, an offspring. So in order to find out how these characteristic features are inherited, Johann Mendel, who is the father of genetics, he found out the main rules of inheritance by performing different experiments. Okay? So what you have to understand here is, and remember also the name of Johann Mendel, he was the father of genetics, and he found out by certain experiments that what are the rules of inheritance. Like he studied about the different characteristic features of garden pea. So the pea plant, okay, the pea plant. He took the pea plant and wanted to study the different characteristic features that is present in the pea plant. So he got what? Round, wrinkle seed, tall, short plants, white, violet flowers, green, yellow seed. Okay, this type of various characteristic features can be seen in the pea plant. So from there he took the pea plant and performed various experiments. After performing various experiments, he got certain rules which shows the nature of inheritance in man or nature of inheritance in plants also. Okay, so here you can see a pair of contrasting characters are taken, like round, wrinkled seed. Seed may be round or seed may be wrinkled, not of proper shape. So this is one of the characteristic feature. Tall and short plants also contrasting character. White and violet flowers, green and yellow seed. Like this type of characters, contrasting characters were selected by Mendel, and different experiments were performed, so that now we got what? Different rules of inheritance which was shown or derived or stated by whom? Johann Mendel. These are called Mendel's laws of inheritance. Now slowly we will proceed to the experimental techniques that he followed to find out these rules. Now all of you, please focus on this type of cross pattern that I am going to show you here. You have to follow this nicely. Don't distract yourself from the studies. Okay, let us see the first cross. Now why I am telling this as a cross? Because he is to perform experiments by matching together different pairs of the plants. Different characteristics of the plants were taken and then they were crossed, then they were breeded together, mated together, and the offspring was tested for the characteristics that it got. So first course was Monohybrid Cross. Now what he did, he took a tall plant Okay, and for tall we are writing here capital T, capital T. All of you take care of these points, and this is a dominant characteristic feature. So when we are representing dominant characteristic, we will represent by capital T for tall, or any characteristic feature you can take that we will be practicing later on. Okay, for first of all you have to understand this. So this is capital T I have taken for representing dominant characteristic for tall. Dominant means it's always expressive over others, and this is just short, this is recessive, so I am representing here small t. So this is a pair of contrasting characters that are taken for this cross, which is called the monohybrid cross, right? So capital T and small t. Why I am telling like this? Because we have to take some alphabets which will represent the characteristic features that we have taken for showing the cross, right? So for dominant we have to take capital to show that these characters are always dominant. This will come in the next generation. We think like that. And small t is recessive. So we write like this. This is for short. Okay. Now one more thing. Here see, we have taken 2 for showing an individual plant with tall. Okay, so this is capital T, and both are same. No, nature you can see capital T, both are capital. So this will be what? Homozygous. You can see the term, children. This is homozygous. Homo means same, and this pattern of arrangement is homozygous because both traits are same. We have taken like this capital T. So this is called homozygous, and this is small t. This is also homozygous, right? Because both are same. When both will be different, then we can say that this is heterozygous. Okay, so this is an individual plant. This is an individual plant with single characteristics, tall and short, right? So now we get the gametes. The sexually reproducing cells are called what? Gametes. Okay, so from one tall plant we are getting the gamete is for tall. For T1 we will get, and for the the recessive we will get one small t. Because both are same, so we will get one type. This is small t, and this is also both are same. We will get one for the gamete. For the gamete, there we will write only one like this. Okay, because this is only one pair. So in the gametes the chromosome number is reduced to half. So for this, if there are 2 representing tall, so in the gametes it will come as 1. So like this we take single alphabets capital T and small t for the gametes in both. Can you see now? Okay, so these 2 gametes will unite during the process of fertilization. Male, suppose this is male and this is female, they are uniting to produce the F1 generation. Now you can see here I am writing here like this gametes. Here I have written what? F1 generation, right? This is first filial generation. Okay, first filial generation. That is why we are writing what? F1 generation, right? So tall we represent the gamete with capital T. Short will represent the gamete with small t. Both are uniting together during the fertilization process, and we are getting what? Capital T, small t. This is F1 generation, the first filial generation. Now the next step is to make an union between the F1 and the F1. So now we will start with the crossing of F1 into F1. You can see F1 into F1. We have to find out the gametes. Then unite with the gametes. Take capital T, small t. Then here also with this we get small t. This with this we get capital T, small t. Okay. We can put this in the box also. This is a checkerboard which is called the Punnett square. Okay. So you can represent male like this and female like this and put it in this box. Then capital T, small t, here you write the gametes, here also you write the female gametes. Then you just do this crosses capital T, small t, capital T, small t and small t. This box is a checkerboard like check box. This is called what? Punnett square. And you can see what? We have tall, we have capital T, tall, and we have small t for short. So you can see out of the total 4, you can see here this is tall, and this is also tall. So 3 tall and 1 short. So the ratio of this cross, of monohybrid cross, is what? 3:1. So tall is to short is 3:1. So whenever there is a monohybrid cross, then the dominant characteristics will be more in number, like 3, and the recessive one will be less in number, like 1. 3:1 is the ratio of the monohybrid cross. So out of the total 4, we have 3 tall, the dominant one, and 1 short, the recessive one. Okay, so for all the crosses that shows monohybrid cross, okay, so this crosses will have the same ratio. Dominant to recessive is 3:1.